Several die-hard Stranger Things fans are upset at how much criticism the final season has gotten. I get it. I've defended something past the level of delusion when I was that passionate about it. But we're going to analyze some of these reasons people are upset with the finale. Let's check it out now. This hot take actually made it on Forbes. The Stranger Things series finale is a crushing disappointment. Okay, we get it. Vecna was always supposed to die, but the plot armor didn't have to be so thick. Just think about this. At any point, Vecna could have jumped into any of the main characters' mind one by one and picked them off if he wanted to. That would have been absolute cinema. He could have eliminated Will a long time ago. Just look at it. Will took over his body, broke his leg, broke his arm, but Vecna never thought to do the same thing to Will?
But what the hell, boy?
Secondly, why wasn't Will affected when Vecna died? Or the Mind Flayer for that matter, right? Wouldn't it have been cool if when Joyce hacked Vecna in the neck one time with the axe, Will fell on the floor screaming, holding his neck? That would have been fucking awesome. That would have been cinema. Or how about whenever they attacked the Mind Flayer with all that fire and everything, Will should have been on that ground, just like he did every other time. Like when the Demogorgons got burned and stuff like that. Just think about it. It's a hive mind. Will has been sitting there, tapping into Vecna's emotions, thoughts, feelings, and using his body, stealing his power. And yet, the Duffers forgot about that at the end. Karen freaking Wheeler, she hauls her badly injured body, probably heavily sedated body, across the hospital while toting an O2 tank, opened the dryer, threw the tank in the dryer, closed the dryer, and turned the dryer on while being undetected by 3 Demogorgons that was right there.
Stop the cap.
Yeah, no. No! A lot of people agree Robin's character was weak this season. There's not much more I need to say on that. Too many scenes where people were just standing around, like even in this heartfelt moment between Hopper and Eleven, like, bro, put your arm around her or something. Jeez Louise. The characters did more crying than the viewers. Let's just keep it real. And it's because the story was not delivered that great. The Duffers missed out on an opportunity of a lifetime by not committing to the redemption arc of Vecna. They should have committed to that. That would have been much better. Even if Vecna dies, that would have been much better than the shit we got, especially when every protagonist made it out alive. Hawkins heroes are the luckiest protagonists in television history. Like, no major deaths whatsoever, nothing. They fought an interdimensional alien being with psychic powers, and they beat it flawlessly. Speaking of psychic powers, where were the Mind Flayer psychic powers when he was getting attacked? Where was it? I don't understand. Where was it? Oh, and where were the Demogorgons? Where were the Demo Bats? Where were the Demo Dogs? I just don't understand. Like, where were they? The hive mind, right? There's an attack on the master of the hive mind. Where are the reinforcements? And you mean to tell me there was nothing there? No other species? No rare aliens? No nothing?
But what the
Nothing?
hell, boy?
The Duffers gave this answer when asked that question. Never in a million years had he expected that. They said Vecna had not expected an attack on his own home front.
Bruh.
How? He just learned the plan from 11. Y'all don't remember that? He went inside her mind and he learned the plan. Why bother to learn the plan if moments later you're going to never in a million years imagine the plan that you just found out? That doesn't even fucking make sense. If you're going to be joining 2 dimensions or 2 planets, you better believe there's going to be some gravity shifting, some heavy winds, some rain, some storms or something. But there was nothing here. Nothing. I'm pretty sure some people in Hawkins probably didn't even realize that this shit was happening. Boo! Some people claim that the Demodogs, Demobats, and Demogorgons were consumed by the Mind Flayer to take its physical form. That's why you didn't see any.
Stop the cap.
You know why that doesn't make sense? Because those kids were hooked up to those spires or whatever you call it in that layer from the start of the season. And there were Demogorgons spotted throughout the season. So that excuse makes no sense at all. The Duffer Brothers played too much. They said, yo, it's going to be a dark Christmas. It's going to be dark. They said, you're going to cry your eyes out. When we hear stuff like that, we're thinking, oh, shit, we're about to lose some people. It's about to go crazy. It's something going to happen that we just don't expect. We lost no one, except for the baddest motherfucking villain in the last 10, 15 years. In the history, matter of fact, in the history of television, I don't know a much cooler villain than fucking Vecna. As a grown man, I might be the #1 dick rider for Jamie Campbell Bower, playing Vecna, aka Henry, and he did both. You know how sometimes the character would usually play one thing and then somebody else would play the monster. No, Jamie played both and he snapped. He ruled at it. Somebody give him an Oscar. The military was asked, what was the point of the military? They were completely useless. Everybody ran through them. Nancy, Demogorgons, Vecna, like themselves. I mean, what was the point? The Duffer Brothers stuffed the final season with tedious expeditions, hammy dialogue, and they pulled their punches when it mattered most. Hale's big sacrifice, which I actually didn't get to see because I stopped watching after Joyce hacked Vecna's neck off. Leave it alone. Why come back and leave your fans confused? Why? What was the point of that? Y'all play too much. Sure, a highly trained battalion of military soldiers can get ran through by a few Demogorgons, but the Mind Flayer was no match for a pack of teenage kids on his own home turf. Lucas's plan to attack the Mind Flayer from above? Trash. First off, it would have took them a very long time to get up there, to climb up there, and they had no rock climbing gear. But guess what? They didn't need it because they just teleported up there
But what the
in
hell?
seconds. Plot armor was godly. Hopper killed several military personnel throughout the season. Nancy killed a few. Murray threw a bomb and exploded a military helicopter. They all were in custody at the end of the season finale, but they got away with nothing. No charges, nothing. They just got away. I guess killing military personnel means nothing in Stranger Things universe. You remember the epic final battle of Stranger Things that wasn't so epic? In this scene, you see Nancy Wheeler running for dear life. And because the Mind Flayer is chasing her, it's shaking up the inside where Henry and Eleven are fighting. But if you go back and watch the entire fight, you'll notice that it only happens when Henry has the advantage. This is the type of things that people were complaining about. Right now, the Hawkins crew is throwing everything at the Mind Flayer. It's shaking up and everything, but it does not seem to affect anything on the inside while 11 has the upper hand. And she literally has her hand up holding him for about 2 or 3 minutes strong, but the inside never shakes like it was doing when Vecna had the upper hand. How convenient. The Mind Flayer being brutally attacked and burned to a crisp. Here it affects Vecna, but it doesn't affect Will. You'd think that the tie was severed between them, but no. At the very end, Will taps in, takes over Vecna, and destroys him.
But what the hell, boy?
This is why people were saying that the ending is shit.